Good morning. It's Monday, May 6th, and that means two things. Consider getting into the habit of extending trust to people with asymmetrical facial features. And it's time for the lighting industry news brief brought to you by Keystone Technologies and the Linta. It is a flexible, sensible architectural fixture. You know what? Classic Keystone elements, selectable power, selectable color temperature, selectable directionality, up or down, one fixture. Great connectivity options, and it's 3 inches wide. It saves you space, saves you time, looks good, feels good. That's KeystoneTech.com. Light, made easy. Let's get into the news. Armstrong, a PE firm, has bought Light Art. This is a architectural lighting deal going ahead with no clear price on anything. Gamma, another PE firm, has bought into Acuity with a $100,000 position advanced. LED exit signs might not be bright enough. The IES did some field measurements, and maybe things aren't hitting UL standards once they're in place. The EFC has joined the Semiconductor Climate Consortium, which is a group that works to make semiconductor manufacturing more sustainable overall. We have a new dividend declared for Universal Display at 40 cents per share. LSI has reported on inducement grants, which will allow for new employee performance grants in stock options going ahead. Over on Get a Grip on Lighting, we have Dr. Shelley James and Tom Butters talking about their particular fields. Signify is planning a share buyback with not quite 500,000 shares returning to the company so that they can be offered as employee incentives. Silicon Labs has updated their earnings projections for Q2. Revenue will now be estimated at $142 million. Over at Wolfspeed, we see Q3 revenues at $201 million, and the U.S. Postal Service is still spending that $40 million in upgrade funds from the federal government on their distro centers, which means that Sioux Falls mail is now going through Omaha, if that matters to you. We have a potential rail strike in Canada, with CNR beginning job action maybe on the 22nd. The 2024 Showroom of the Year finalists have been named with 9 candidates in 2 categories. We'll see how that shakes out. Best of luck to everyone. The IES NYC has named their student lighting competition winners. Those were all entries shown off at Leducation. TRT streetlights have received the highest TM66 score so far. They're made out of wood. The NEEA has partnered with Ethno for a new commercial building survey. We've determined that retrofitting Canada will require not quite 60,000 more construction workers and 81 billion Canadian dollars in projects due between now and 2032. Livewire has set up shop in Richmond, Virginia. The LightSource branded shop is already up and running. Regency is opening a new Orange County location. That's Orange County, California, not the Florida one. Speaking of Florida, Blingle is in Miami. That's a new location for the outdoor lighting company. Recolight has celebrated their 16,000th product on their reuse hub. That is a circular milestone being reached. On the legal side of things, Jack Bailey has been awarded $1.7 million in Acuity arbitration. This is over design royalties. Lightspec is suing Lightspec. One is an agent that has been Lightspec for some time. The other one is a media company that also runs a trade show, and we'll see how that shakes out going on. We have an update in Signify versus Menards, with a 6-patent case adding new infringement complaints. The UAW has okayed a safety strike against a plant in Stellantis, Michigan. Among the complaints are safety issues related to poor lighting. An Amazon merchant has helped reopen a patent case in the case of SnapRaise v. Lighting Defense Group. This is because of an item being delisted on Amazon.com and CA, probably. No revisions allowed in AMP versus Elko. The recess can case will go ahead as written. And you remember January 2021 when Razer announced a face mask that had N95 respirator qualities and also had RGB lighting built into it because Razer's a gamer company. Turns out it didn't have N95 respirator capabilities. They just sold it like it was, knowingly, and the FTC has fined them to the penny what they made on selling those, and another 100,000. So this is like $1.2 million in fines going ahead for Razer. In rep agency updates, Shatter Shield has teamed with L'Éclairage Optimum and Solutions BFC. HLI is expanding their deal with FRM into Miami, and Sterling Lighting has partnered with Island Villa Lighting. In event news, I want to remind everyone to go to NailedCon. I call it NailedCon. Everyone else just calls it the Nailed Convention, but it's in St. Paul this August. I'll be there. I hope to see you there. Registration on nailed.org. The ALA is planning a new member forum on packaging laws. That's midday on May 15th. In IoT news, UK is about to set the first set of cybersecurity laws. Multiple security agencies sounding the alarm on OT device security, with 9 agencies on 3 continents raising concerns about how they play into DDoS attacks and other security issues. On the Lighting Controls podcast, we have Avi Moore being interviewed about his expertise. I hear he's starting his own show real soon. That's what I hear. Jasco and Johnson are very happy to celebrate their joint home development program. Jubilee, Texas is a brand new subdivision of all smart homes. They're now for sale. In R&D news, do you see the wave or do you see the particle? Literally, this is a quantum mechanics thing, but literally the spectral power distribution of what you see changes depending on whether you receive it as a wave or a particle. Like there's a bit of a gap in the nanometers that happens there. Some of our measurements may need updating, is the short version. The Michael J. Fox Foundation, a group that works to raise awareness and develop treatments for Parkinson's disease, is funding new light therapy research specifically to alleviate symptoms of the disease. Toyota Gosei has set a new record for UVC LED output with 3 times more disinfection power than previous products. We have a new study indicating that long days may benefit heifers, so you may need to be adding more lights to your barns. And truckers in the far north need interior lighting. Sad lamps might become part of the ice road trucker situation. We'll see how that goes. On the darkness side of things, circadian rhythm has been linked with your gut microbiome. The US NHTSA TSA has begun a probe into Ford's hands-free driving tech over a pair of nighttime lighting-related driving collisions. Insect activity is up 31% at night. Modulated light temperature and brightness during the day does change melatonin levels in humans. Conservationists renew their call for the end of lighting at the infrastructure projects going on at the US-Mexico border. We have sleep-deprived zebrafish suffering damages to their synapses. Voice actor Roger Craig Smith has raised money for the Dark Sky International chapter in Indiana at the Huntsville Comic-Con. Cornell has released a new animated short spotlighting the need for lights out for birds. We have Munster, Germany, testing motion-activated bike lane lighting. It might need to be adjusted to improve health of bats. And Restoring Darkness talks to Odell Wilkins about electro soup and a bit of light pollution and what all our wavelengths are doing to all of us all the time. Sea turtle lighting is resuming on Daytona Beach, Florida. We have a Lights Out campaign picking up track in Wyoming. Upper Nidderdale in Yorkshire is expanding their lighting regulations. This is part of the bigger Yorkshire Dale's program of reducing lighting, one of the great dark sky sanctuaries of the world, and every community is pitching in. Weber County in Utah is planning some new port projects, and those plans are prompting protests from locals. A Walmart in Wichita Falls, Texas is also prompting similar complaints. Traverse City, Michigan elementary school has been denied outdoor lighting for their sports field, and light pollution is being blamed for the deaths of flamingos in Mumbai. In horticultural news, the United States federal government may move cannabis from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3, which means that testing, taxing, and a number of other issues that have been troublesome and vexing for producers, even in legal states, could change very drastically. That could be good for the market. We'll see if that goes through. Hawthorne sales are down 28%. Chengdu has opened a new plant factory. The Chinese Academy of Ag Science has grown rice in the desert. We have the Internet of Lettuce improving harvest forecasting. We have moving LED drivers outside the greenhouse, helping to manage temperature. And Slovakia has opened an automated saffron farm, and that might actually be great for the cost of saffron. If you've ever bought saffron, you know what I mean. In sports news, the Tri-City Chili Peppers, a minor league baseball team in Virginia, will be playing a game under black lights, and I dig it. I dig it. In recommended reading over on nailed.org, we can talk about how the U.S. power grid is doing great on emissions levels, and no one else is, just the power grid. We have a recap of mergers and acquisitions. We have a recap of Dark Sky Week. We have a new white paper on a glimpse into the invisible world of near-infrared and what we can do with it. An analysis of lighting profits, Italy versus Germany. We have a recap of Le Salon Lumen. We have the Internet of Climate Change. What we can do with photometric data files, because there's a lot in there, and actually, what do we do with it? What do you do once you have one? We have the science of luminous ceilings. We have a case study of POE at Mausery Electronics. We have a school in Wisconsin, and we have a study from Fenier Energia's headquarters. We also have color and impact, and Energy Secretary Jen Granholm on the state of U.S. manufacturing. In local news, no charges for that one guy who placed a flashing light near that ballot box in Michigan. He was arrested by 3 different government agencies for being weird, and upon careful consideration, they found out that being weird, even in a tense context, is not actually illegal. And on behalf of legal scholars and weirdos everywhere, thanks. New Orleans, Louisiana has been named the most improved for energy use. Akron, Ohio has been ranked the worst for energy use. Ohio is now seeking federal funds to fix that. We have $6 million in new funds for municipal buildings in Alberta. Hamilton, Ontario is seeking $15 million in federal funds. We have the San Francisco Bay Bridge, doubling the number of LEDs on it. The Charles Braga Bridge in Massachusetts will no longer have lighting. We have new projects in Phoenix, Arizona. Moose Jaw, Alberta is approving new summer projects. Chattanooga schools have secured new grants. We have new lighting on the Crescent City Connection Bridge in Louisiana. The BC Columbia Basin has improved energy efficiency in affordable homes. We have new funds in Coldwater, Michigan. Schools, we have PA schools hitting efficiency milestones. We have St. Louis, Missouri, doing street-level security assessments. We have McLean County, Illinois, spending $200,000 in grants. We have Champaign, Illinois, offering grants for residential lighting and Wi-Fi cameras. We have the Alexander First Nation of Alberta securing new retrofit grants. We have Pride, Utah, admitting that they can't afford lighting for their 2024 festival. And I just found this out. Not strictly news, but I found this out, and I need you to know this because I learned it, and it's deeply cursed. The Welcome to Fabulous Las Vegas sign, it has RGB capability, and they changed the colors on the sign to suit whatever cause du jour might be going on. But there is a second, smaller, physical, normal highway sign, and that sign exists to explain why the colors are what they are. I need you to know this because I learned this and I can't be alone. In international news, Atrium has partnered with Flexworks in the UK. The Chinese Ministry of Transport and Work has donated 180 solar street lamps to Barbados. We have Sigma searchlights beginning to make GSLs in India. We have the arms, the arms of La Moulin have fallen off La Moulin Rouge. That happened. And Nottingham City in the UK has completed their switch to LED. Sean Holshoff has been named VP of Marketing at Europhase. Floss's CEO, Roberta Silva, will be stepping down. Rob Roy has appointed Alex Irwin as their business development manager. Neil McKenzie has been hired as the CMO at Regina Andrew. Nagendra Rao will be retiring, and Northern Cables has named Mike Christensen as their regional manager. You can make your own quantum dots from scratch to understand TVs. You can make a big LED wall. You can make an RGB hex clock. You can combine lasers and mirrors in interesting ways. You can create a custom helix lamp, and in the near future, submarines may use lasers to propel themselves very quietly. Call Alec Baldwin now. And before we go, the scrap value of catalytic converters has cratered. In related news, police spokespeople no longer recommending extra lighting for security. I am Scott Wachter. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank Keystone. I want to thank Nailed, and I want to thank Leadvance, Lead Efficient Design, Bravo, and ETI. Until next time, enjoy your week and enjoy the music.
When